Hello, welcome to Access. I'm Nathan. I'm here with Dave.
Hello.
Dave.
Yeah. What's happening?
We're going back.
What?
Back
No one
into
told me about
time.
this.
So this is Far Cry Primal. This is our little bit. This is basically kind of highlights from the first hour, and this is how it starts.
Wow.
You go from now back. It takes ages. I mean,
How far are we going?
no, it didn't take as long, obviously, that it did coming the other way.
No.
That took thousands of years. But we're going all the way back
This is further than I realised.
to 10,000 BC.
Okay.
That's right. So that's when the game is set in Europe.
Okay.
This is the filleted highlights of Holly playing the first hour and a bit of the game. And what I've skipped is good bits of cinematics which describe that we're a tribe called the Venga, or the Venger. And we're quite nice, and we kind of live with the earth. We're a bit sad. We're going to have to kill a mammoth because we're very hungry, so that we're going to separate it, the smallest one that we can find off with fire.
Wow.
But there's a bad tribe called the Udam, who are cannibals.
Right.
And they've disrupted our lands, which kind of goes along with the territorial basis of most Far Cry games.
Yes.
So that's the kind of... I watched our old video that we did, last year, where Rob was saying you just like fight other tribes. And yeah, you do, but they're bad.
Right.
And so it's about living with nature, with the land, and it's obviously about killing woolly mammoths as well. I mean, it's not like you're like a vegan caveman. But,
Yeah.
But so this is how it starts anyway. You're with an element of your tribe. You're crossing the continent, trying to find others because you've been like disrupted. And one of the first things that happen is Holly's missed there, but generally speaking, her aim is on point. Yeah, and it will be throughout. Check this out. I mean, this.
Oh my.
Oh, it's right. It's
That's
like
in the
up
eye,
his
isn't it?
Nose, and this one's so good it bounces off the other one.
That's amazing.
Like,
it's also amazing that can happen.
I know.
I'm a big fan of that.
It's like if that was Robin Hood, it would have split the arrow. Down goes the mammoth. Then they're all checking out. No one's really paying attention because. I mean,
my
dude, how
God.
did you not? Did that come from inside the mammoth? The mammoth eating the saber-toothed tiger earlier? And this guy is just. I mean, he's mean.
God. This tiger's got the right idea, hasn't he? Let them do the hunting.
Do you remember when we released a tiger in Far Cry 3 and it betrayed us and its name was Steve?
Yes,
That was a long
Steve.
time ago.
Oh, that was a great time.
If anyone remembers that.
I feel like Steve's ancestor is back then.
Yeah, he probably remembers what we did. We had to kill Steve.
Oh my.
So this is just kind of the opening setup. You fall down.
It's like the Revenant.
It increasingly is a bit like it was really reminding me of the Revenant all the way through. So what we're going to see is the first few missions, kind of the first few things that it asks you to do. There it is, Far Cry Primal. Obviously the game's out in February. It's like it's not very long to wait, and so we're not doing it as a list. We're just going to talk you through our. It's about 23 minutes we've got here.
Our experiences.
But yeah.
Well, actually, Holly's experiences.
And what looking at Holly's footage, what she does, you can tell that she's a big MMO player. She plays a lot of Final Fantasy.
Right.
And you can tell that because she cannot pass a resource without harvesting.
Right. Okay.
Like her pack very quickly becomes full. This is the very beginning. So you make a bow. So there's a scavenging mission here, and you collect kind of slate and leaves and all the bits and pieces that you need to make a bow and arrow.
Right.
If I could make one like that just using plants and wood, my goodness.
You'd be the best dad ever.
My life would be very different.
Yeah.
And then there's just basically a series of Holly just headshotting different animals now.
Blimey.
You saw this in your game as well, didn't you, Dave? Like you go into a hunter vision. There you go, reads for Holly.
Yeah, exactly. Hunter vision is sort of very similar to things we've seen in previous Far Cries.
It kind of really makes sense in this one because there's so much less technology. And what I really liked, I don't know if this is true of previous ones.
Right.
Stop me if it is. But Holly has shot a goat here, but not killed it. So she's just going to pause to take some alderwood. And then you can track the blood.
Oh, wow.
Which I really like.
You know, I actually don't know if that's a new thing or not, but
missed.
That's something I've never seen before. That is cool.
It was already mortally wounded. She doesn't have to hurt it again. She just finds where it went to be sad and die.
Right.
Think about all the things it would have eaten if it hadn't have been killed.
Yeah.
Ghosts love eating stuff.
Bless.
Really important as well, and established right at the beginning of the game, is the importance of fire.
Okay.
Which again I like because like probably the most important thing for me in Far Cry 4 was that I had like a mini helicopter.
Yeah.
And in this game, it's that it's the essential energy of life, which seems this is top technology in 2000 BC.
It's also something that Far Cry games have always done really, really well. It's been a big sort of point in the Far Cry franchise, hasn't it?
Far Cry 2 is all about forest fires, jungle fires.
Yeah.
And, burning and
And then they just became more fun. It was so much fun in Far Cry 3. Fire arrows and stuff.
So this is like a thing. You can always build a fire, and then this is right at the beginning again. So you've made your bow. Now you're making a club, and I quite like. No one's suggesting this is like natural history or anything, but there's an like they're always about technology and weapons, and now they're using the same tech. Back in 10,000 BC, an axe was a pretty. Just a hand axe was a pretty nifty bit of tech.
Yeah, but you know what's better than a hand axe?
It was a stick axe.
But one that's on fire.
Right? I know. It's like two leading. It's basically like the iPhone. It's two things that you liked in one cool thing. So now you've taken your fire and you found tracks. And so I like that animals are scared of. So it's all mechanics that we're familiar with from Far Cry.
Yeah.
But because I was thinking as much as everyone else for Christmas when they announced this, because I really liked my helicopter.
Yeah.
How are they going to keep it interesting? And I like that the same kind of design basics are still in place. So this is you trying to track down members of your tribe now, and you've apparently entered a saber-toothed tiger's lair, which seems to me like a terrible.
That's a bad idea.
Terrible idea.
We saw the saber-toothed tiger at the start, and he's not too friendly.
No,
but he is hungry.
I don't know if it's the same one, because if it's the same one, obviously he's going to be furious.
I'm willing to bet that they're quite similar in their sort of personality, temperament. Yeah.
Yeah. The other one's probably quite full up of mammoth at this point.
That's true. He's probably asleep.
So this is a little. This is the first time you kind of meet another person.
Meat being the operative word.
Well, that's an Udam. That's a dead Udam.
Right.
But over here is another Venger.
Are we sure it's not Benga? Is the Benga boys the Benga bus?
Or Venger from Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh.
Dungeons and Dragons.
So she's part of your tribe.
I'm thinking of the tiger.
Oh dear.
Like Tiamat. Yeah, but your tribe has been scattered.
Right. Okay.
By the Udam, and that's what I mean
see.
about. Because in Far Cry, when you reclaim outposts, you're normally doing it for a resistance of some kind. And here you're doing it for a tribe, and you're trying to reunite the tribe.
Reunite a tribe.
So it's still like a territorial, motivation that makes sense.
It's really, really clever. The more that you're saying about it, that the way they've managed to reframe everything that we know from the modern world, and then
a bit of respect there, because how many times do we say Far Cry 4? It's quite a lot like Far Cry 3, isn't it? Can you think of something new? And then they think of something new, and everyone's like, "Where's my helicopter?"
Yeah.
So I've left this bit in. This is obviously you entering the land of OROS, which is the main. I believe this is kind of the main map of the game, and that's right. That
is really pretty.
Do you know what I wish? I wish I had a helicopter.
Yeah.
And then this lady you've met, I was just chatting to her, just thinking she's a nice lady. What she's collecting there, Dave? And then you notice on her chest as well. Ears.
What is it?
She's got loads of ears. She was collecting Udam ears. And I was like, I was on board with the whole I'm on your side thing, and then I was like, but the ears?
Yeah.
Really? She's injured now from the tiger attack. So your very first mission in the game after you meet her is you have to find some green leaves, which then help. I think that also develops your own healing ability tree.
Okay.
Holly takes this as an opportunity just to shoot a bunch of things.
Right
in the eye. That goat got it right in the forehead.
Well, when you're that good at archery, I suppose it's hard not to walk past a goat and shoot him square in the face.
They don't really move that fast. That's and it did remind me. This is the first bit of human on human combat, or homo on homo combat. Definitely.
Oh,
shouldn't have put it
nice.
like that. I know. Yeah, I always thought the bow was the best thing about the Far Cry games. Anyway, I always wanted to be really stealthy, and I was always frustrated when I had to crack out the big guns. That is a jaguar up there killing a wolf. I like, again, when you're in an ecology like this, and the animals, it's like, in GTA when the police won't chase other criminals.
Yeah.
You're like, come on now.
Yeah.
And I like that the jaguar is not having any of that wolf.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes the world feel really alive. And the thing about the bow and arrow in all games really is it just feels more skillful to use
Yeah.
than a gun. A gun that can fire for miles and miles.
And I like that. Obviously, you can't put a gun in this game, but I like
No.
that you can forage and make your own arrows as well. So this is again Holly shot the jaguar, and then I like the way it's rolling down the hill, and then tracked it, shot it one more time in the grass, and it's just there it is. I'm going to be having my arrows back. Thank you very much. And
I need a new wallet.
And also your skin. This is brutal.
Tortoises.
Whack.
What on earth?
It's a turtle, but look at that. Just one. It's a headshot, Dave. It's a headshot on a turtle. Rob would be doing his nut if he was watching this.
What's she gonna make? Records. I didn't have Holly down as a cold-blooded tortoise murderer.
Well, we used to see four of them, didn't we? Back in the old days.
Yeah.
Like Biggs. My old T16 back home. So this is again this is the club now. You can get like a two-handed club. Oh, well, I learnt that from your video actually earlier on. I guess this is the contrast between our two videos as well. Is that previously we kind of dipped in at a late stage of the game and we had a few more weapons and things.
Yeah.
So this is check this out. Like just
nice.
respect
Wow.
for Holly. There's so many headshots that go on. That is my favourite one.
Oh, that's perfect.
It's the momentum of the lower body momentum.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's like straight out of Lord of the Rings. That was beautiful.
Yeah, and this is much more of a. This is what I can be. This is how the game builds that kind of first hour of experience. That's kind of what we wanted to show in this video. Just another one.
Holly is deadly.
I know,
but I can't get those tortoises out of my mind.
Well,
I'm sorry.
She's also deadly to tortoises.
Yeah.
So this is you now healing the lady, and I've kept this cutscene in because it was it made me feel ill.
Right. Okay. I see. I see, Nath, that there's English subtitles. Are they speaking in a Neanderthal language?
I didn't look it up. I don't know how much kind of linguists and anthropologists have gone back and reconstructed those things. I do remember there is a movie with the big lad from Hellboy, Ron Perlman.
Yes.
Which is kind of it's a cool movie from the 80s about it's a similar idea actually. It's kind of pre-modern man like competing. There's no script whatsoever, but you kind of understand everything that's going on. So I just kind of went with it. I was like, I don't know what they're using in the game, or whether the idea is that there would have been proto-language at that stage, but just no writing.
Yeah.
There definitely wasn't writing. Yeah, just interesting. This is.
But the point is they're speaking in their own language, right? And so we have to read the subtitles.
Yeah, we can't change it to English.
That's great. I just think that's really cool. I don't want to hear Neanderthals speaking English. That would just make me feel
because
weird.
The way they would have to do it is speaking English, but in a slightly guttural way.
Yes.
And that wouldn't be cool with it. I hope there's not an option to switch that on now.
No.
So this is, and then kind of having kind of healed the lady, Holly is now striking out into the world. This is the territory. This is a bit. It seems to me, just from this one example, that this is a lot like liberating an outpost, especially because. So again, like the importance of fire.
Yeah.
You light the bonfire, but then your villages get populated, and then like it specifically says at the end, like the population of your tribe is going up, which reminded me of Fallout and almost gave me a panic attack. But look at this.
Oh wow, that's nice.
I like it. And it's so weird, isn't it, when you're stuck on the ground? And obviously, you were saying you can use kind of owls as kind of a spirit UAV.
Yes.
But obviously, in this early part of the game, you can't. So any kind of elevation, so you can kind of see where you're going. All the usual fast travel business that you can do between your settlements also applies in this Far Cry 2.
So at this point, you don't have your owl UAV friend.
No, and there was no beast riding when it goes on in this video, although that is possible. I'm not sure what size animal you need. Obviously, it kind of goes along with the beast taming that you can do, which we did show in our previous video, which we will link in the description, seeing as I've spoken about it so much. Obviously, so having got this settlement now, this is the reward stash, which just gives you a bunch of things. I kept this in because this is basically like a bed, and you can sleep. And I just liked there's like a time lapse effect that we're about to see, which I really enjoyed. I think this is a really pretty game.
It really is pretty. I was really impressed when we saw the first footage, actually. Not that the Far Cry games, aren't known for that, but it just seems like they've upped it again. And in a world that is completely lush.
I think that's the thing, though, isn't it?
It must be difficult.
Without buildings, architecture, infrastructure, how do you make the world engaging and interesting? We're just going to have to make it really nice to look at, lads.
Yeah.
Can we do that?
And making the the sort of foliage look natural and not like repetitive and everything. It just looks really, really beautiful.
Rob was saying, whoever the guy is who's made the beams of light go through the trees, that guy needs a raise.
Yeah.
He's done a great
God
job.
rays.
What?
Hey.
Oh, I didn't even think about raise.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Again, look, this is the old Far Cry. Like, you're on your way somewhere, but wait, here's an animal. I will have to shoot it in the bottom.
Yeah.
And then take its skin, because that's just what human beings do, isn't it?
They've managed to make it even more. I've always thought Far Cry's done quite well at making it okay to kill animals, because it's not something I like to do.
Yeah.
But in Far Cry games, they've always sort of made it okay for
It feels
getting
like you're living
resources.
in balance with the world here, doesn't it?
Exactly. They've done it. They've made it even more okay.
There was never really a reason for us to see for those honey badgers, but now.
No, that's right. Apart from them being extremely vicious, and they're back, Nath. They're back, and we don't have C4 this time.
I'm not sure what we're going to do.
No, I think
we're going to
just
have to set the jaguars on them.
have to run away. You can have a honey badger as a friend. Just say you can have a pet honey
you can
badger.
tame one. I wonder how hard that is. So this is just I don't know if that was a random encounter, but just
A little hostage rescue.
rescuing one of your men, scavenging the bodies. I think he's pointed you towards like a group of people, which is so this is an escort mission. Even 10,000 years ago, Dave, there were escort missions.
People needed escorting. It makes sense.
To different places. So then you kind of hook up with a team, and again, this is just another example of not messing with Holly.
Blimey.
I know.
I just didn't know this about Holly.
Yeah, I find
She's
it
got mad skills.
really hard to aim with a bow and arrow in the Far Cry games, because I've tried to do it before, and as soon as someone is basically moving and they know where you are,
Yeah.
just give it up. It's just not happening. But yeah, not true here. The Udam, I don't know, for a tribe that's been beating us all over the continent, they don't seem up to much, do they? I'm sure there's some.
Oh my.
And again, it's apparently when you execute them like that, it's the shocked faces that really,
I remember, when we covered Primal earlier, there was a couple of takedowns where you see the look of horror in their eyes right before they get smashed. It's really visceral, isn't it?
Again, it's strange, isn't it? Because you think without guns, without gunfire, and without rockets, maybe it would seem less violent. But if anything, the opposite's true.
Yeah, I guess it's going to be quite a lot more up close and personal, unless you can become a crack shot with your bow and arrow.
With your bow and arrow. So this is them delivered safely to their village. Lots of cheering and hollering going on.
Excellent.
And then after this, the mission I wanted to show was this is a stealth rescue. This is the final time we're going to mention Holly shooting people in the head, but really, so I've let this play out. I don't think I've edited this much. It's anyone who's played Far Cry understands about approaching an outpost or camp stealthily,
Yeah.
and trying to take everything down, and that is what is going on here. I believe those green diamonds at the top are like the captives, and
Right.
they represent the people that you must not let be killed.
Right.
You see what I mean?
This is surely one of the Far Cry's sort of strongest gameplay sort of staples. I remember in Far Cry 3 they actually had to release a patch so that people could undo all the captured outposts so they could recapture them
again.
because it's so much fun. It works so well, especially with hunter vision in this case, marking people,
Yeah, I don't
taking
know.
your time.
The marking I have not seen in this video. Not sure if it's not in the game, but it did make me think about that. Yeah, whether you could kind of scout something, because is so satisfying.
I'm pretty sure you can with your owl. When you get the owl, I think the owl also has a sort of version of hunter vision.
We're gonna have to watch carefully here.
Hell. Oh, that guy's
panic.
that's a mistake.
Right in
That
the
is a
face.
mistake.
That is my favourite shot. And then also coming down here, this is like Legolas.
Wow.
You don't get your shot away, and
Oh.
you don't get your shot away, my friend. Everybody's dead.
Oh my god.
That's in the head, and the captives are rescued. Yeah, I was watching that and I was like, oh my god, because I knew that Holly had only got to do this once. I was like, don't mess this up, don't mess this up.
Yeah.
No.
Well, Holly's just showing us there that if you can't be bothered to sort of take your time and stealthily mark everyone, you can, and you're really good with a bow and arrow,
Yeah,
you can just run in and look like a badass.
This is the only glimpse of the map that we've got. We're off to see that shaman. You see there? There he is.
I see.
Not the early 90s dance act. Although, once you get into it, does look a little bit. Once we've got through this cave, have you ever been to a festival where they have just like a silent disco?
No, I
where
haven't.
Everyone's wearing headphones.
I've always wanted to.
Because that's That's basically what this guy looks like he's doing before you arrive. And then you give him a touch. And he's like, whoa! I was listening to Ebenezer Kid.
Really killing my buzz.
So this is a new type of mission. This is a vision. We're about to have a vision.
Okay.
He makes this mixture for us, man, and then he makes us bleed into it, and then he makes us drink. He licks it.
Oh,
Of course he licks
okay.
and then he's like, but you should really have some. And it reminds me of that bit in the Peter Jackson movie Bad Taste, where all the aliens are sick in a bowl.
Yes.
It's like, oh, me.
I mean, I'm sure he's really nice, but I'm not sure I'd trust him.
Oh.
And I couldn't keep that down, I don't think, even to be polite.
No, again, it reminded me of elements of The Revenant.
Yeah, quite.
And then, so just a taste of this vision mission, which is called the Vision of Beasts.
So this is sort of another plane.
Yeah, I mean, there's been things like this in the Far Cry games
Yeah.
before.
In Far Cry 4.
Specifically, yeah, like there was a kind of a spiritual element to it. I'm not really sure how these are going to play out or what you get at the end of the missions even. But here, we basically go up to an owl, we grab the owl, and then we become the owl.
Ooh.
So I don't know if this is what then gives you the UAV, the owl UAV.
Yes.
I hope so. I mean, that would be amazing.
It feels like the shaman is going to be quite important. It feels like, you know, it is a big part of.
He's basically the ammunition of of 10,000 BC. He's the guy you go to get all of your tricks. And I like this is why it reminds me a bit of What Remains of Edith Finch.
Yeah.
Just the transformations and the being different animals, and it looks really nice. Being underwater looks really nice.
It does look really nice.
And this is pretty much chronologically. This here, cut this off before the end, is pretty much the end. But I wanted to put something at the end. Some lovely views. I was begging Holly in my mind, look up, Holly. Look, it looks so nice. Look, Holly, look up. Holly doesn't look up. But I really like this bit. Anyway, I'm just gonna kind of let this play out for you. Again, the collecting, the endless collecting.
Might need those reeds later.
Look carefully, Dave. Look carefully.
Oh no.
There's a bear.
Oh my.
He's just there. He's just in the.
He's having a bath.
He's having a swim, and we were talking about the Revenant for the whole time. What remains of this video is simply.
He's coming, Nathan. I can see him on the map. He's coming.
Running away.
Does Holly know?
From
She's
a
thinking
bear.
about just going off a cliff.
There's
She's
like
gone off a cliff.
There's like a sliding
Oof.
down cliffs action, which so there's so you are meant to do. You know, like that is part of
That's
your
part of your.
traversal skills.
Yeah.
There's no helicopter this time, lads, but you can.
You can slide.
So I don't know if she was expecting the bear.
Oh, the bear's coming again.
But
The bear's coming. Man, she's got no fish. I mean, she is really good with a bow and arrow,
The
but
club's out now, though.
oh god.
I know. And the bear's just thinking, why have you done this? Why are you here? Why were you in my pond?
Yeah, it's just having a bath.
And now I have to kill you. Look at it. Arrows in it. It's still coming. It's so angry.
I don't know who's going to win. I've got a feeling.
And this is the point I was like, man, this is so much like the Revenant. This is really good.
Oh, I just saw the classic Far Cry heel animation there.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing what we're going to what they're going to get.
Arm and my head has reattached itself to my shoulders.
Push my own eye into its socket.
That bear then just came from the side. Holly was like, he's around this tree. Actually, I'm biting your face off.
This bear is
the
vicious.
bear-
She's done it.
The bear has succumbed.
He's also got a slide animation.
And we're going to cut you.
There we go. I'm going to make you into a lovely bag.
And that's the end of the bear. And indeed, this video, thank you very much for watching. That was the highlights of our first hour's play with Far Cry Primal, which you can buy on February the 23rd.